About 4 days ago, I made a podcast titled Terrell Owens and the State-Sanctioned Genocide of Black Americans. And in that podcast, I was speaking about our position in America and how it has been a state-sanctioned genocide against Black Americans in this country. And we know this by them using the race soldiers to commit these state-sanctioned acts of genocide against Black Americans. No one else, just Black Americans. Understand something. If they were doing this to everybody, I wouldn't speak about it in the guise of how I'm speaking about it. We know it's acts of genocide because they're targeting us specifically. Now, in that podcast, I stated that it's going to be somebody else. And from the time I made that particular podcast, there have been 3 different shootings of Black men and a teenage boy, all killed by the race soldiers. Now, we seen this one out of Los Angeles. A brother, 29 years old, by the name of Dijon Kizzee. Now, he was riding his bike down the street. Allegedly, he had some violations of, a vehicle code, even though he's riding a bike. And he's approached by the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. Now, this is the same Los Angeles Sheriff's Department that have a white supremacist gang called the Executioners in their department. That same one. They get certain tattoos and different ranks for harming and killing Black folks in particular. You understand? That same sheriff's department. Now, they said that the brother, allegedly, started running from them, running away from them, not running to them, not approaching them with a gun, running away from them. And they claim that he started fighting with them, but mysteriously he's fighting with them, but yet he got shot in the back. Some reports say 15 times, some say 18, some say 20. We know he was shot just multiple times in his back. And you have noticed this trend of shooting Black people in the back. Now, there once was a statement to say only cowards shoot people in the back. And we know the entity of white supremacy is built on cowardice. You take their guns away from them, they're good, nothing. They're done, and they know it. That's why they fight so hard to keep that gun in their hand, because they know if it's mano a mano, they're not going to win too many fights. They know that. Now, that footage, and when I saw it initially, I glanced at it, like I said, it's not good, brothers and sisters, to keep watching death. And they purposely show the deaths of Black people. Because there are times that these cops kill white folks. And you notice they don't show that? You would think it never happens. But they want to constantly keep showing the deaths of Black Americans. And that helps to devalue your life. Because, see, when people are desensitized to watching you die, then it doesn't really bother them as much when things happen to you, because they're constantly used to seeing you die. They constantly seeing that you die and nothing happens. That gets people, it sends a message to every group outside of Black in this country to say that your life don't matter. Your life ain't a piece of crap, because I can watch you die on the evening news and not even be censored. Nothing's going to happen to the cops is going to do it. Even though you had 2 of them, one was a supervisor that was out there that was part of it, and a trainee. Another Black man being killed by state-sanctioned genocide. And as I stated before, we got to stop saying police brutality. Police brutality is not getting it. The term genocide is something that the world understands. Now, there was, and I'm going to cover this probably a little later, there is a woman on the International Criminal Court that the United States has sanctioned because she's doing an investigation of war crimes in Afghanistan. Now, the United States is not part of the International Criminal Court. And you know why? Because if it was part of the International Criminal Court, acts like this of genocide, you could bring to the ICC and say, hey, you need to do an investigation and hold them accountable. That's why they don't want to be a part of it. See, everybody else can be held accountable for doing the same things. Now, listen, if this is the Chinese Communist Party, if this is some Arab country, if this was Russia, if this is all these different countries that are doing the exact same thing constantly to their citizens, what would these people say? They're killing their own people. They need regime change. That's what they will say constantly about another government doing the exact same thing as them. But when they do it, it's okay. And the world see it. The world don't say much about it. You understand? Because they have even let the world know that black life, you can just kill black people, it don't matter. It's okay. And this is why I say the things that I say in this country. You cannot, that's not healthy to live when you know that you can become a hashtag at any time. Yes, we have, involuntarily built America. There was no America till we built it. Yes, we have invented and innovated a lot of things in this country. That is the truth. Yes, reparations are old. That is the God's honest truth. It is. But reality speaking, we all, as we live in America as black people, you literally playing Russian roulette with your life. Every day that we stay here. Now, a person like myself, let me make it clear. Not afraid. I ain't afraid of none of these white supremacists. Never have been. But my problem is, it's not enough of us to, some of you say fight. It's not enough of us to. Or some of you don't even want to have a fight that don't even cost you nothing. Like a strategic boycott to not spend your money. Like that's something that a lot of you just won't do. You got to keep spending your money in Babylon, which that would actually hurt them more than anything else, is pulling money from them. King showed us that one. But what are we going to do? This is another brother that has been killed by these race soldiers. This is another state-sanctioned genocide killing. I mean, we have to think about what we're going to do. Like I said, you sit down with your personal family and say, okay, what are we going to do about this? Every family that this happened to, they say, I didn't think this would happen in my family. People talk about Benjamin Crump and he, this and that and the third. These people keep Benjamin Crump busy. Let's call it what it is. People can complain on Benjamin Crump all day long, but as long as you live in Babylon, Benjamin Crump is going to have a job. Every freaking day, every other day, every week is some black person with a hashtag. It's the same thing. Protesting, now you're taking it a little different. You're going to the streets, you're burning things, you're doing, okay. They're still not getting it. They haven't made your friends are Democrats. They ain't made them do anything. They ain't made your friend Joe Biden do anything. They're not doing anything. I mean, we have been protesting for a long time. We have. And we still haven't got nothing out of it. We have went to the streets. We turned up a lot. Still nothing has happened. So what are we going to do? See, I'm that kind of person that I think like that. Like, okay, what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep crying about it. I'm going to keep complaining, or I'm going to take some action I feel that I should take in this situation. Now, that's an individual decision. But this is another family that's have to bury their loved one. And for no reason at all. Anytime they see a black man with a gun, allegedly with a gun, he gets gunned down. But that man in Kenosha, Wisconsin, that man that shot the folks up there in Kenosha, that man, the 17-year-old man that did that same man that was beating up a girl, that man, he had a gun and the cops didn't gun him down even after he shot somebody. So it's not about he had a gun, because when that man named Kyle, that 17-year-old man, they didn't shoot him down. So they know when to shoot somebody and when not to. And it's based off of color. I'm telling you from personal experience, the safest I ever felt, the most at peace I ever felt is when I went to Ethiopia in 2018 and it was peaceful. And to tell people how we live in America, they say, how you live like that? Like, you guys need to come home. How you living like that? That's not even right. I went to Kenya, 2019. Same thing. Felt at peace. Didn't have the issues and problems you have here. No country is perfect. None is at all. You got problems on every face of the earth, but you don't have these problems. You don't have a target on your back. My thing is, what are we as a community doing? And don't be giving me all these excuses about my bones are buried here and this and this and this and this and this. And while you giving them same excuses, that those race soldiers could target you and do something to you too. Just like the passport thing. Well, I told y'all in 2018, and I talked about this about a good year or maybe a year and a half. And I quit saying something about it. These police killings of black people is tiring me so much because I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing our people get gunned down. Innocent black people get gunned down. We upset. We're crying. Another family's burying somebody. Ben Crump Lee Merritt. They show up. They get the lawsuit going. That gets put through. Then they move on to the next and the next and the next and the next and the next. Like I said, last time I went to Kenya, Tatiana Jefferson was gunned down. Then her father, a month later, died. And I'm pretty sure the brother died of heartbreak, if anything else. I mean, covering the news over the years, I have seen so much death in our community. Years upon years upon years of death. This is not normal to watch this much death. I mean, y'all got to understand this. This is not normal. Any other country will be brought to The Hague. Any other country, or somebody been talking about regime change or doing some sanctioning or whatever, if they were doing all this killing of one particular group. Years upon years upon years, I've been watching black people just get gunned down for no reason. These folks justify it all the time because they have these people who justify it. They have a sick bloodthirst for the blood of black people. They enjoy watching it. They love watching it. It's like porno to them. I know many of you are sick and tired just as much as I'm sick and tired. I know many of you sometimes don't know if you're coming or going, seeing all this stuff. That's why I say sometimes don't watch those videos. Sometimes you need to back off. Just don't watch some of those videos. I'm telling you, it's not good for us as black people to constantly keep watching people get gunned down. And somebody in our community. Well, I'll tell you, that's why I told you we live in a wicked and sick nation. Wicked and sick nation that has a bloodthirst for the deaths of black people. This is why you want to hold on to a wicked and godless nation, a God-forsaken nation. Yes, I say God-forsaken because no God is going to sit here and be pleased with no nation that makes it fun and makes it a sport and make it that you can just get away with murdering people. That violates the simple thing of the 10 Commandments. You don't have to go into the deep scriptures. Just the 10 Commandments. What God is with a nation like that? I don't want to hold on to no place that says it's okay to murder me and then we in the streets. Listen to what you're saying. You in the streets saying Black Lives Matter. That's what you're saying. You're trying to tell a group of people who have proven to you for over 400 years, your life ain't a piece of crap to them. Why you keep even saying the term Black Lives Matter? Why? They don't have a heart for you like that. You dealing with an entity that has a heart full of ice. It's cold. It's not human. That's why it's okay to kill you and nothing wrong with it. And I'm talking about the collective. I'm not talking about individuals who say, hey, that's wrong, that's not right. I'm not talking about individuals who mean well and feel bad about it. I'm not talking about those individuals. I'm talking about the collective. I'm talking about the system who says we giving you the state sanctioned power to kill black people and you can get away with it. Black people, you need to think about what I'm telling you right now. Why are you holding on to this? Why? Other people leave nations for what we go through. See, other groups come here because they're not murdered in the street like we are. And they know it. All these people coming from south of the border, they're not coming over here getting shot up. You are. We are. People coming over here from all these different Asian countries, they're not getting shot up coming over here. America's a great place for them. It's awesome. They don't watch their people get gunned down like that every week. They didn't have their families destroyed. They didn't have everything they built. Every time they come up with something, they get sabotaged, set back. And I had some of them mad with me on definitely on TikTok when I told a story about a business I've been going to in a nice area, because some of them, assume it's a bad area, in a nice area. And, this one particular sister, I realized she had a look that I normally would have sometime when you're dealing with business. And, she was telling me some things, and I said, "Oh, do you own the business?" She said, "Yes." And she says, I try to, keep that quiet, because if I don't keep that quiet, then, the Mzungus would tell their friends, and then they won't come back. Of course, the ones who are that way won't come back. Not because of bad customer service. And then as I've been, I was talking to other people, they saying there was other business owners were saying the same things. That, I can't really say that I own it, because if they find out I own it, they ain't gonna want to come in here. See, other groups don't have to deal with that problem. Asians don't have to deal with that. Oh, is the Asian owned business? You don't have to worry about, oh, is Asians on it? Oh, I'm not going over there. That's only something me and you got to deal with. Hispanics don't have to deal with that. Indians don't have to deal with that. Nobody got to deal with that. Well, white folks sure don't have to deal with it. But me and you, we have to deal with it as a community. We have to be devalued, marginalized. What are we holding on here, folks? That's a logical thing. I would like anybody to tell me, what are we holding on to? That's the only thing I'm just saying. And then, of course, they're going, here we go with that. Well, we go over to there or whatever we want. I don't care where you go. I'm just saying, you can go to the Caribbean if you want to. You can go wherever you want to. I'm just saying, have you a passport, try something else, go see other places. Because some of you, all you know is America. Some of you, all you don't even know outside your neighborhood. That's sad. Some of you have never left your state. That's sad too. And that's why we feel like we have nothing else. We better get out of that. Because these people have no problem showing the world that they can just mow us down and nothing's going to happen. You better have a conversation with your family. Instead of saying, I worry about my son, I worry about this, I worry about that. Instead of worrying about your son or worrying about your husband or your uncle or your cousin, why don't we do something about it? It's time. It's like, why don't we have an exodus? Forget it. Trust me, the economy would change without us here. You don't realize how much we contribute to this country. Don't let them people lie to you, act like we don't contribute anything. We contribute a lot to this country. We are the biggest consumer in this country. You take out the biggest consumer in this country, that's going to hurt your economy. Let's not even talk about the industries that we keep going every year and all these different groups that benefit off of us. We got to have that serious conversation with our families and stop being scary. Stop asking questions about, am I going to be safe over there? You ain't safe here. What do you mean? Am I going to be safe? So you thinking that what we see in these videos is safety? That's safety? What happened to Breonna Taylor sleeping in her house? That's safety? That's the safety you're talking about? I think that's the most crazy question to ask as black folks. Am I going to be safe? I felt more safe over there than I ever felt here. Trust me. I'm just trying to talk to the people that can receive that message I'm giving today. Because for me, like I said, it's just over and over and over and over and over and over and over. It's too much. I know it's my job, it's what I do, but I still care because these are my brothers. These are my sisters. I don't want to see them gunned down like this every freaking week, every other day. I don't want to see Ben Crump on the TV every other week. Every week he with a different black family. That's sad. Whatever you people say about him, it's still sad that he even showing up to do the lawsuit thing. That's sad. Lee Merritt. That's sad. They shouldn't be, you shouldn't be seeing their face this much. But that's what we're seeing. Because these people have a policy in this country that says you have the state giving a permission, sanctioning the genocide killings of Black Americans. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think about, this particular story. This family, like I said, it's just a family of many that I've seen over the years. Another brother, once again, gone for nothing. And unfortunately, and I hate to say this, but I know it's going to be true. It's going to be somebody else. Probably by the time some of you hear this video, it could be somebody else. That's how much they have a policy to commit acts of genocide against us.